ever do something weird. Hello, internet.
It said leave it or said do it. Setting it up. Okay, setting it up. Done. Redirecting, and we're on.
Hello, bonjour. Nope, sorry. I've got to stop with the French.
You go.
I've got to stop.
Stop doing that. Stop.
Stop.
Hey,
Okay.
who are we? Where are we? We are the book lover. Yes, we are the American Book Center. Welcome.
Woohoo. Oh boy, we're off to a great start.
Well, you asked me last time to wear something for
Halloween.
Halloween,
and then I forgot to bring the Halloween hat. So, but I put my little pumpkin here.
Oh, you have got a pumpkin.
Yeah, you're supposed to put a candle in it, but I don't want to do that and then put it on my books. But isn't it cute?
It's not a real one. It's a porcelain one.
Because I had a real one.
Mm-hmm.
And I bought it to, this was last year or maybe even the year before. I bought it to take some bookish pictures. I thought, oh, it's nice if there's a little pumpkin in there. And then I forgot to take the pictures. And then I made soup out of the pumpkin. And then I couldn't. And I was like, I need one that I won't accidentally eat. So then I bought this one.
Did you forget, or were you just so hungry that you thought, shit?
No, I was like, oh, I could use it in soup, not remembering that I hadn't yet taken the pictures. I had only planned to take the pictures. It was great. It was wonderful. Soup was good. Yes.
Well, actually, because we're talking of Halloween, we're kicking it off to a good thing here. I actually took a picture. Oh no, I took a picture of the rubbish around the corner, but we don't want to look at that. I took a picture of the shop. The wonderful.
Oh, did ya?
I did you now? Oh, doesn't it look nice?
It's very spooky.
So there you go. Happy Halloween, everybody.
Oh, don't do that.
Creepy Halloween.
No.
No?
No.
Halloween's creepy, isn't it? So I thought I'd do something creepy. Creepy dad stuff. Anyway, let's get down to business and talk about books.
Ooh.
Yes. Shall I kick off with something?
Yeah, go for it.
Okay. Actually, I'm gonna kick off with the suggestion from Ciara. Actually.
Oh, sure. Yeah.
It's kind of it fits in with the creepiness of the. There you go. Anatomy of a love story. And you kind of go, well, what is that? Why have they got a heart? It's weird, creepy. I'm saying creepy a lot. I don't know. A heart on the front. And Ciara has been saying that it's actually a novel set in Edinburgh. In Edinburgh.
Ooh, that's a very creepy
accent. In fact, I
creepy city.
Edinburgh, if it's in a very strange Welsh. No, anyway.
Yeah. What are you? That's not okay.
I have no idea.
Yeah, that was crap. Okay.
Offended all our anyone with an accent, really.
Yeah.
Set in 1817, and she says it's a tale that follows a young lady who is determined to become a surgeon, but 1817, of course, wasn't really the thing to allow ladies to do that.
Oh, sad.
So she's in need of alternative study materials. Corpses.
Oh boy.
Yeah.
It's great. Okay, wonderful.
You can't have medicine and surgery, stuff like that, without having dead bodies.
Without dead people. Yeah, that's fair enough,
Yeah. And so she gets involved with this bloke called Jack, who digs them up for a living.
Oh, fun.
Which isn't actually allowed.
Oh, he's a grave robber. That's wonderful. A body snatcher.
Yes. So
Lovely.
Het wordt gevolgd. What do you say? It's to be continued.
Yep.
So buy it and find out what happens. Diabolically delightful, says Maureen Johnson, whoever she is. I don't know.
She's quite famous.
But Ciara's more famous, I'm sure.
I'm sure.
Ciara from the ABC at the Amsterdam shop. So that's her suggestion.
Mm-hmm.
Sounds kind of creepy. If I liked creepy, I would give it a go. I don't, so I'm not going to. Be honest.
Thank you for your honesty.
I'm too sensitive. I can't.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, actually, I just realized it's actually. Did you realize it was her? Did you see that?
Oh, no, I didn't.
No.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
I checked it out myself.
That makes it slightly less creepy,
Yeah, but it's very well
but
done.
slightly more cool.
Yeah. A picture
Very
of
nice.
her
Yeah.
looking with her big dress. So there you go.
Okay.
Check that out. That's $14.99. Just came in.
Just came in.
Oh,
Fresh from the press.
on the 14th, so it's a couple of weeks old. Okay, so that's the
Stop.
first one. Over to you.
Yeah, I have one that maybe slightly ties in, which is The Dead Romantics, which is
Ooh.
Lilia's suggestion. So it's a romance book, but it's a spooky romance book, or like a ghostly romance book.
Right.
Because the main character of this book has a special talent. She can see ghosts. She
Dead
can see
people.
spirits of, yeah, people that have passed away. And she works as a ghostwriter for a very famous author. And it's not going well. And then she has sort of a bit of a
Johnson.
what?
Right. Is that famous author called Maureen Johnson by any chance?
No,
Oh, okay.
definitely not. That would be weird if they used an actual author for that. Anyway, she has a bit of a confrontation with her new editor, who's like pushing her very hard for a specific deadline, and she's like, oh, I can't do this. Oh, I'm ready to give it all up. And then she also, the new editor is super hot, of course, and then she gets called home for a family emergency. By the way, her family owns a funeral home to add to the spooky vibes. And then when she gets there, suddenly there's a ghost, and that just so happens to be the ghost of her new editor. And then they sort of hit it off. Yeah. But he's a ghost. How's that going to go? I don't know. I do know, but I'm not going to tell you.
But that means that he died.
Maybe. You don't know. Got to read the book to find out.
Identical twin or something like that. But
you don't know.
Lots of plot twists, lots of clip twists already, and we haven't even read the book.
Exactly.
Yeah. Wow. Okay. So that's quite something. It's kind of fun, I suppose. It sounds a bit like
yeah. Lilia said what she liked about it is that the main character has to deal with her ghosts, both the ones in her head and the ones she can see, which I thought was very funny.
Yeah. Nice one. There's lots of okay. Well, I like
yeah.
I like that. That's good. That's a good one. Let's jump into the old. This is a new sequence which I should have some music for. Like, I don't know if you can hear that, but there you go. It's creepy corner. No, it's not. It's classic corner. This you don't like that.
I feel like you have to go stand over there in the corner if you want to talk about the classic corner.
I mean, which one of us is more corny? I don't know.
Oh, definitely me.
Oh, okay, fine.
Yeah, no, I'm happy to take that. Absolutely.
You're up for that.
A huge dork. No shame.
No shame at all. Okay.
No.
But I then have no shame in showing this. This is Stephen King. Couldn't get more classic. We've got Salem's Lot on offer here, coming from Flores. Very tall, and thin, as he is. And I don't know, whatever. He's just you come actually, there's a few tall people in the ABC.
Yeah.
But so he's just been reading Salem's Lot, and he's loved it. It was a suggestion from our horror. No, it's not a horror buyer anymore. Actually, Yillis.
No, Sievert is the horror buyer in Amsterdam.
That's like horror, a bit of horror.
No, I think Yillis is probably the most prolific horror reader.
Yeah.
But he's not the buyer for the section.
Not anymore. He did it for a while. Okay. So he doesn't know a lot of stuff about it. And then there's this triple.
It's a very nice edition.
It is, yeah.
And if I remember correctly, it has a pretty good price as well.
It is €35. So
it's not terrible. It's 3 books.
Yeah. And it's
3 in 1. And it's very nice with the silver edges.
Yeah, silver edges. It's
really pretty.
Very pretty. They're doing this with the Stephen King stuffs more, actually. There's a few more of these sort of big bind thing,
Yeah.
bound things. So yeah, so it's for the people who know, they know, but for the people who don't, like myself, this is I love Floris, short and sweet. What he says a reaction to the classic vampire stories that has become a classic vampire story in itself. So
Dun, dun, dun.
as only a Stephen King could do.
Yeah.
But it's true. I mean, he's been writing since the 70s, and of course, he's still writing. There was
Yeah.
a moment that he said, "Oh, I'm going to stop," and then he stopped.
And everybody was like, sure,
Yeah, exactly.
Stephen.
But he churns them out, and they're still good to read. I think it's
Yeah.
just it's just that classic thing.
Yeah.
We talking about just before the show started is that in both shops we have a separate section because he is one of the few single authors who has A, written that much, and B, is wanted that much.
Yeah.
He's got his own section.
Yeah, because with a lot of authors, you see that if they have a lot of books, some of them will be very popular and some of them will be kind of eh. But with Stephen King, everybody wants to read like all of his books from like the different eras.
That's right.
So you have to have all of them, and that takes up a lot of space.
Yes, and in all the various versions of them as well.
Yes, yeah.
I mean, one thing they've actually cleverly done, which is not to try to make them all look the same. I mean, it would be impossible, because
yeah, they're not all, I think, with the same publisher. So or the same imprint at least. So there are bound to be some differences.
Yeah.
And then there's the more sort of crime fiction oriented titles and the more sort of horror fiction oriented titles. So there's a lot of different things going on.
He, in and of himself, he has so many different variations. They're not all.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Right.
But they are doing, I think it's HAGUE that's doing that. Very nice, like reissues of some of his like classic works in separate series. So you have like the thrilling suspense or something, and that's maybe 7 titles, and then you have chilling classics, and that's a few titles. So they're like dividing it up into different sets, but they do look very nice together.
Yeah.
They're very pretty.
Yeah, indeed. Yeah, there's so much there to work with.
Yeah.
Remember they've got,
and it's also because some of them are obviously quite old, so some of the covers are just a little bit old by now. You know what I mean? The design just isn't very hip anymore. So it's really nice that they're doing these reissues and sort of bringing them into like this day and age, making them
it's true.
Look appealing.
This also, the thing about this is that they're being televised, they're being created for television. I mean, they're for film as well, and of course it has been filmed 4 different times over the years. So and it's like you said, to keep it fresh, but it's really just making a nice cover for the now crowd, because the stories themselves just work. They're timeless. I know.
Yeah.
Doesn't.
I think that's the case for probably a lot of like creepy, like dark fantasy and horror books, because the thrill and the scare doesn't really matter what time period or what you put it in. It's sort of universal.
True. I'm thinking that you can have like horror stories that, of course, the classic one, Dracula and stuff like that. They're based in the past, in the Gothic kind of. But you can have horror stories that are modern. Actually, futuristic horror stories. Obviously, there are futuristic, but I'm thinking it's not something. You can have science fiction horror. Science fiction in itself is kind of scary because it goes into an unknown world and world of itself. But that not so much. But it is steeped in sort of like historical values. But you can definitely mix and merge them. And actually, what you said just before about crime, some of the modern horror. Some of the modern crime books that we have, certainly the Norwegian, the Scandinavian stuff, which has also been made on television. The girl with the hornets, earlobes or something like that. That was for me. That was horror. There's bordering horror.
Yeah, I think because it leans very heavily on the sort of psychological suspense, which is obviously also what the horror genre plays on. Like. Something's going on, you don't know what it is, it might be a monster, blah blah blah. The only difference is that, for me anyway, like I'm not the definer of genres, but for me, when I decide which books I do and don't want to buy for the horror section, the difference is that with crime books, there's a human element, like there's a murder on the loose or whatever. And with horror books, there is something supernatural going on. There's monsters or zombies or spirits or possession or whatever. There is something unexplainable that plays an element into the story.
Yeah, that's interesting. Yeah, it's not always as clear cut, because I'm just thinking also misery.
No, yeah, it's rarely clear cut.
Yeah, no, indeed. But that's certainly that's, I think, a defining factor between the crime, horrible crime and horror books. Yeah. Interesting section, I think. Over to you. What have you got?
What have I got? I have two books that I want to talk about that aren't suggestions from other people.
Suggestions.
Let me start with this one. Isn't it beautiful? It's so shiny. Wow. So it's 16 Souls by Rosie Talbot, who is an Instagram friend that I have. She has a bookish Instagram account, a bookstagram account, if you will. And she's also, I believe.
Just make that up? No, you didn't, did you?
No, I definitely did not just make that up. That's a very well-known term. She is also pretty big on Book Talk. I'm not on TikTok, so I don't know. But she's very popular, and she wrote a book. And the cool thing is that she was gonna self-publish it, and then it got picked up by Scholastic. You
can't read it, but there you go. I believe you. Scholastic. That's good.
Scholastic. So now it's a real book. Traditionally published book.
It's a debut.
Yes. Yeah. It's a YA debut with spooky stuff. Similar to the other book that I talked about. This is a person who can see ghosts. And the idea in this universe is that the main character was very sick, and then he was clinically dead for a little while, like his heart stopped. And then he was brought back, and then he could see ghosts. Right. And he lives in York, which is old as balls, so there's lots of ghosts. Sorry, anyone from York. It's true.
Okay.
It's real old, so there's lots of ghosts there.
I can attest to that because I've been there, actually.
See? And there's lots of like ghost tours and stuff. It's very much a city that sort of leans on that heritage. And then there's this mysterious thing going on because ghosts are going missing. And sort of against his own better judgment, he gets involved, like the main character gets involved in figuring out what's going on and sort of solving the mystery. And it's just really, it's a YA book, so it's not too far out there, but there are some gory scenes. So if that's not something that you handle well, then maybe steer clear. But it's just a really cool book, and it's very much about this this person who is sort of a loner and like doesn't like to have many friends and isn't very doesn't have a very big social life or whatever, and sort of against not his wishes, but like he isn't looking for that, but it sort of happens along the way that he finds like this group of friends, which is like half humans, half ghosts. And it's very, even though it's creepy and spooky and very dark at times, it's also just very wholesome. It's really nice. I really liked it.
But it's funny as you describe it. There's always things that pop in my head about what we just talked about of the genres of horror. We just got that and crime, and it's very that as well. Within the horror story, there are these ghosts who are going missing, and it's like then that's good, they've gone off to the other side, as we tend to think that is, but they're apparently not in a good way. So
no.
Plays into actually what I was thinking today. I saw a lot of folks on the first floor in the Amsterdam shop today, young people, and normally they're crowded around the young adult section, and today they were actually all crowded around the science fiction fantasy section. And I thought, I had this feeling that they're migrating, as it were, a bit, if you understand what I mean. What you're telling me about this story kind of goes with the same thing. It's like actually the writers, on the writers' side, they're also opening up to other genres, being horror being one of them, and mixing it in with what they like, which is young adult. You know, if you write young adult,
Yeah, I mean, that's not necessarily a new thing though. Like a lot of the most popular YA books are actually YA fantasy books. But yeah, this is, it's sort of
it being horror. It interests me, and the idea of people expanding, and all these people, they're young enough, they're reading this stuff for the first time, and it's all sucking it up, so that they're really like sponges, and they're just expanding. I love it. It's great. I think.
Yeah. Anyway, it's a really good book. Everybody should read it. Thank you.
There you go. Good. All right then. I have a graphic novel which is very nice, and it's called Acting Class. How are we doing? Yeah, there we go. There you go. By Nick Drunesso, which don't know exactly where he comes from, but we were thinking that he came from sort of like Serbia or some East European maybe, but which is always interesting. It's nice to see that we're getting English language books from authors from around. So Nick Drasso, it's simply about people who join an acting class. I'm gonna have to stand up here.
Yeah.
Pictures. Oh yeah, I'll go that way. And I do like the way that this is this style. Actually, it's definitely a European style of
yeah, very much
graphic novels. And it's their conversations, and I just get sucked into this sort of thing. I really, it's a great. Within the last 20 odd years, I think it's in Holland anyway, or in France they've had bande dessinée for almost a century, I think. But this has really come into its own in the English language, I think, from what I've seen at the ABC, and they're really very in-depth stories, and the sensitivity and the emotion you can get from the combination of just the words and the pictures, and sometimes just the pictures, words, and it's just amazing. I've cried over graphic novels before because they're just so beautifully done. So so this one is just out, lovely hardback, €31, and he had actually, it's not his first book. He did Sabrina, which we've sold a lot of as well. So we'll see if this does well. But that's just fresh on the shelves.
It's a huge book too. It's massive.
Nice and large. So you definitely get waar voor je geld. You get
bang for your buck.
Bang for your buck. Thank you, translator. Translate that. It's all this how do you call it, sort of toned down colors. So you get into the mood of it just by the
yeah.
I love that.
Cool.
I think I might go and read that actually. I'm gonna read. Wow,
maybe.
Lovely. Do you have one? Bing.
Yes, I do. I have another book that I want to talk about. It's called Once Upon a Tome. By Oliver Darkshire. Who is the person who runs the Sotheran's Twitter account. Now, Sotheran's is an antiquarian bookstore in London. And they've been in business for literally hundreds of years. And obviously they haven't had a Twitter account for hundreds of years because Twitter hasn't been around for that long. But this person started working there maybe like 8 or something years ago, and sort of accidentally took over the Twitter account and totally went viral because he's hilarious. And now he's written a book, which is obviously about Sotheran's and like the work he does there, but it's also just about, a lot of it is about sort of the antiquarian book world in general, and anecdotes, and like the way there's like several different types of regular customers who all have their very specific habits. It's very funny. And like he has to do home visits to like look at people's book collections, and those are wild adventures. And it's very funny. It's very sort of like outrageous, but in an understated way. It's really good. And also, obviously, the antiquarian book world is quite different from like the book selling that we do, but a lot of it is very recognizable. Some things are just universal. I feel like everybody who works at ABC should read this book. Maybe it could be our kerstpakket.
Oh yeah, yes.
We all need to read this book.
Do it. Tell Lynn.
Yeah, I will. Yeah, it's really funny. It's the misadventures of a rare bookseller,
right?
Which is
so the book is actually an antique bookshop in itself. Is that right?
Yes. Yeah. So they have the store, which is like this sort of sprawling, weird, like it's several buildings that are sort of connected, just like ABC The Hague.
Yeah. It started off probably small, and then they sort of like buy that one next.
Well,
door.
I'm not sure exactly. Like didn't start off in London originally. So they've been migrating, but now they've been in London for a while. And it's just
because I was going to say I've not heard of them. So but I left England in the 80s. So
they were like I said, they're hundreds of years old. Let me tell you, I'm sure it's in here somewhere. Well, and it has really nice end papers, which are actually, because they sell prints as well. So the end papers are inspired by some of the prints that they have in the store, which I thought was really cute.
Which section is it in, actually? Was it some kind of...
I don't know, because I ordered it for myself.
Oh, I see.
But I think it's probably with the bios. Southerns has been heaving around the world since 1761. Is hella old, Luke.
I doss my cap at the length
it's
of time
so old.
Have been selling books, my lord.
Yeah. No, but it's really like, I mean, it's very funny, and it's a nice little insight into the rare book trade, which is a very weird like bubble.
Yeah, if you're a book lover, then you also recognize those things, and you see a little bit of it in the ABC in Amsterdam on the second floor, because most people who like having their secondhand books, we have a time to tell people about our secondhand book things. We can.
Well, yes, we definitely should, but also just to avoid any confusion, Southerns is not a secondhand bookstore. It's like rare books and antique books. It's a bit more bespoke than.
Yeah,
secondhand.
By definition, that is secondhand, but we are not quite what they're doing.
Definitely not. No.
But we can get hold of secondhand books, which are not the rare sort. But we can, when you're looking for a book and it came out a couple of years ago or something like that, then we can definitely get it. But you should also always ask us, because obviously you've got abc.nl, and we can. I should show ABC.
You should show the website to the people.
What was that?
Show the website.
Oh my God, my eyes. Share my, let's do that. Ooh. Wow,
it's the website.
There you go. Let's turn that off, and then we'll just
beautiful.
We'll go to the ABC. This is how it looks at the front. There you go, all of those things. And if you want to know all of the books that we've been talking about, we have our highlights, ABC Staff Picks, Season 3. You can see all of those wondrous books that we've just been talking about, and all the other ones from the previous episodes, which you can see on YouTube. Events. Let's go on to the events.
Let's.
Because we've got we've been going for half an hour. So obviously we're doing the staff picks tonight. And the next up and coming event is also hosted by me next week. That's the open mic. That's next Friday. And we're getting a lot of people asking to come along, which is kind of nice. So they're all getting into the jollies of it. For the last 2 years, we've actually been online. And since the beginning, 2 months ago, we for this season, we've been doing it in the shop again. But we've been doing it hybrid, which is actually having people come to the shop and people from like California zooming in, which is pretty freaky.
That's pretty cool, because you can't do that if it's just an in-store event. No. So it's like a new dimension.
It's definitely a new dimension. And the people in the store watching this young lady sing a song, halfway around the world.
Yeah.
We all got this tingly thing, I think.
Yeah.
Kind of going, wow, the
future is now.
Yeah, exactly. We're here. We're here.
Wow.
You know, the next thing will be like, and then you zip over to America.
Oh, I wish.
Yeah, I wonder if that's going to happen.
Yeah, can someone just get on teleportation already? Just come on.
Really, should be happening by now. We've got
right. How hard can it be?
Star Trek, all the other Star Trek stuff we've got.
Yeah,
so,
beam me the up.
That's a good title for a book.
Beam me the F up.
Yeah, that's good.
Sure.
Anyway, so that's the ABC. You can join us next week in the shop from, if you come along at 4:30 and sign up, you get 5 minutes, and you can go here to get to the Zoom link if you want to join us just by zooming in.
Yeah.
And you can just come and watch, or you can come and play. And then we got a book signing with Flo.
Exciting.
The ABC. That's a graphic novel.
Yeah. It's in our Amsterdam store.
In the Amsterdam store.
It's nice to be able to have authors drop by again, isn't it?
Well, we had it last month. We had what's her name? Oh my god, my brain's gone dead again.
I'm just gonna let you struggle here. Yes.
Ryuichi? No. I can see all the books around her books, but I can't see her books. Crazy. Of light and shadow.
It's V.E. Schwab.
Thank you. There you go. You knew all along.
I did, yes.
Schwab. That was it. V.E. Schwab. She was very nice. She said, "Can I come and sign my books?" I said, "Sure."
And you said, yes.
Yes, please do it now.
Yeah, I'm really sad that authors usually come to Amsterdam but not to The Hague. I want to meet cool authors.
Actually, she was going to The Hague.
Well, she didn't come to us. Listen, if you're a cool author and you're watching this, come to ABC The Hague. Lange Poten 23.
There you go. They're going to be coming in swarms.
I hope so.
Yes. Heroes Dutch Comic Con. That's happening in November. That's going to be massive. That's in Utrecht, and we're going to be there with loads of books. And then the book chats that we do, that's still online. Actually, people they like it, so we're going to do that.
Also, it's not in here yet, but we should probably mention Thanksgiving.
Indeed.
Yeah.
Let us mention it.
Let us. So that's November 24th and 25th. And it's the biggest party of the year in our stores.
It certainly is.
It's great.
Should we
there's balloons, there's cake, there's extra discount, there's lots of music. I don't know what the plans are, but it's going to be wonderful.
Yeah, it's usually a big old day. There's loads of people.
I love it. I love it. Yeah. It's pretty, like when I get home after working Thanksgiving, I am so tired, but it's such a fun day.
What happens in The Hague, actually? Is it just because there's loads and loads of people going?
Yeah, and a lot of regulars drop by, and some of them give us chocolate. It's great.
Oh, I see.
Listen, if you're watching this and you're a The Hague regular, bring us some treats on Thanksgiving.
It's like trick or treat, but it's actually just bring us some treats. That's all.
Just see, it's Thanksgiving. We give you a discount. You give us maybe some sweets.
Yeah, and we go thanks, and then it's Thanksgiving. There you go.
Yeah. But in all seriousness, I feel like we have a responsibility to inform the people about Thanksgiving. So what it is that ABC wants to thank its regular customers and people who have supported us by giving some extra discount. So it's a 10% extra discount on Thanksgiving as well as the day after. And so that means that if you already get a discount, for example, if you have a book lover card or if you're a student or a teacher, then it's a 20% discount, which is great because then you can do all your Christmas shopping.
It's true. It's true.
Yeah.
So get down there. Yeah, we've been doing that for forever, actually, I think.
Yeah.
It happens to be the day before Cyberpunk Friday.
Nope, Black Friday.
Black Friday, and Cyber Monday is the Monday after. That's it. Yeah. I knew it was
you were so close.
I never knew where they called it Cider Monday, but now I do. No, anyway. Black Friday. This is Brown Thursday, but we've been doing this for yonks, and we do it, like you said, with a heart. We do it with full of love for the people, and it's good fun, and it's kind of like Christmas then, but without all of the rush of like, oh, I'm gonna get presents for somebody else. It's just like you presents for people,
and it's our first proper Thanksgiving since COVID, so it's like it's exciting.
Good Lord.
Yeah. It's exciting. I'm excited.
You are, aren't you? Do it, people.
I love it. Look, after the like our busy season, which is sort of starts now and ends in January, I am exhausted because I don't know how to pace myself. I have never learned that. It's not gonna happen. But I do love the buzz. I do like it. It's really nice.
You like the buzz, lady.
And I mean, I also like after all that craziness when it sort of calms down again, and like in January we can sort of chill out and then prepare for inventory.
I tend to feel like January, February is just like full on. I tend to think the people in January are the ones that say, "Oh, I'm going to go out and either spend my book stuffs that I've got, or I'm going to go and buy the stuff that I didn't get for Christmas." So I'll
I'll buy my own Christmas present.
Exactly, get the stuff I really wanted. I spend all the money that they've got as a Christmas bonus or whatever.
Yeah, but like you have Thanksgiving is obviously pretty wild, and then the week running up until Christmas is mad.
Well, Sinterklaas, of course, after
which is less of a big deal for us than Christmas.
True, but it sort of keeps it. It's like these things.
Yes, but it's a lot. It's so much. It's so intense. But I love it so much.
You're like that kid that's running around the Christmas tree and at 2:30 in the afternoon just goes, and has a milk.
Yeah.
So if you come to the Hague store somewhere around Christmas and you see this, like
either I'll be super hyper or I'll be almost dead.
Yeah.
Those are the two options.
In the corner. Yeah,
it's great.
Okay.
No, but I like it.
That's good.
And I mean, I like that it doesn't last longer than it does, because I would probably not survive, but it's fun.
You'd be burnout for the rest of the year.
Yes.
Yeah,
that's what I'm saying. I can't pace myself.
I'm just looking to see if we've missed any other books, but there was one thing here that we had down here for Tom's pop culture book cookbooks. Do you want to say something about that before we finish?
I wasn't done yet. I have more books.
You have more books? Sorry.
Yes.
Sorry.
Yeah, come on. And you have more books too. You haven't talked about Sievert's books.
Oh, okay. All right.
Well, we'll at the top.
We'll go Full Metal Jacket then. Okay.
Jeez, come on.
Great. I was just looking at time. We're, if we can
screw the time.
Screw the time, baby.
We make the schedule. Okay. I want to talk about this book that one of our Emmas read. We have two Emmas in The Hague. Emma V read Cackle by Rachel Harrison, which is sort of one of those books that's kind of between fantasy and horror. It's like witchy, and it has some like scary elements, but it's also not too like gory or too horrific or anything like that. Yeah. But it has, according to Emma, I didn't come up with this, it has all the elements which a cozy witchy story should have, which apparently, according to Emma, are a sympathetic, hopeless 30-year-old protagonist who has lost everything and decides to move to a small village upstate. What's happening? Yeah. Because it's that idealized, like, oh, life is simple, people are so friendly, it's not the big city, blah blah blah. But then, of course, as these things go, life in the cute little village is maybe not as simple as people make it out to be. Very surprising. But it's apparently so it's like witchy, but it's sort of in like an empowering kind of feminist way, which is very hip, of course. And I don't know, she really loved it. She made it a staff choice. So now I'm thinking that I should maybe read it. I have a witchy book club, so maybe this could be our next read.
You have a witchy book club? I
do.
Is that part of the ABC, or you just do
No, that's just me and a bunch of friends. It's called Covens and Covers.
Covington covers. Is that like you're under the Covington cover? What is?
No, it's a book cover. Come on.
Oh.
Get with the program, Luke.
Oh, sorry. I was kind of put off because I was reading what you were reading, and you missed out on the porcelain garden frogs, and I was thinking, and the raspberry jelly. So
Oh, you were so sad.
this bit.
Okay, I just don't want to like literally read the text. I feel like that's bad presenting. I want to talk about it, not read it.
No, you.
Anyway, there's a bit in there about porcelain frogs. You should read the book, probably.
I think I was more, yeah. The porcelain frogs did it for me, and the raspberry jelly.
Fine, okay, I'll read it. The story's scary bits add excitement and mystery to the coziness of porcelain garden frogs and Rose's raspberry jelly. Perfect for lovers of all things witchy and feminist. Okay, it's pretty good. It's pretty good. Pretty good line. Okay, fine.
Yeah. Okay, we got it in. Good. Shall I do a thing from Sievert?
Yes, because he's Amsterdam's horror buyer, so I feel like in a Halloween episode we can't skip him.
That's true. I didn't pick up his books actually, but that's rather naughty of me. Anyway, it says Carmilla by Sheridan LaFemme.
Carmilla.
I did. No, I don't. I picked it up the other day and put it down again. It's 200. Oh yes. Actually, talking of classics,
it's almost as old as Sutherland's.
There you go. They could probably get you like an original version. I'd never heard of it, but it's the book that apparently inspired Graham.
This is terrible.
It's my brain's dissolving as we speak. Bram Stoker, who wrote Dracula. He read it, and
he read Carmilla.
And he thought to himself, "Oh, I think I've got an idea for a book, mate."
Is that what he sounded like?
Yeah. It's a bit of a Londoner. He was doing. He was a captain. Down at Tottenham, sir. Yeah, follow that. I'll be there. Heard of this geezer called Dracula? He's great. Anyway.
No, stop. Sorry, everybody.
More from the wacky world of Luke accents, whatever.
Oof.
Laccents. Anyway, so it was written 250 years ago. That was 30 years before Bram Stoker's Dracula, and inspired that. And they've just brought it out in a very nice new hardcover.
It's very nice.
You can get your little mitts on that if you go to the Amsterdam bookshop. I don't know if you've got them down there in The Hague, but in Amsterdam,
I think it's on order. I'm not sure if it's in yet, but
okay,
we can get it.
Yeah,
we can get it for you.
If it's not in, then you can always call us, ask us whether we get it in stock, and then
or send us an email if you're a millennial and you don't like to talk to people on the phone. Just send us an email. That's fine.
Yeah, we don't have actually WhatsApp, do we? And we don't. We don't know.
No.
There you go. Anyway, so that's. I thought that was a nice one. That was a newbie for me. And he also talked about a more recent release that was called Mary, An Awakening of Terror. Sounds like about my mum. Anyway, sorry, my mum's called Mary.
Well, there you have it.
So it came out in July, and it's a nicely scary debut from Mr. Cassidy. So it's we've gone from the classic 250 years ago to a newbie.
Yeah.
And it's what did he say? He said it's about a woman who likes to blend in. Oh yeah, that was interesting. Yeah, it kind of actually reminded me a little bit of your story just now about somebody
about the kid who doesn't have any friends.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, a bit of a love, which I think actually book authors can be, maybe not all of them, but there is a strain that can be like that.
Yeah, like slightly antisocial.
Yeah, and you kind of like you don't know how to do it, but using books is the way to do it.
Yeah.
Anyway, so this is about a woman who is kind of like that. She likes to be invisible in the crowd, and she starts hearing strange noises in her head. And they're telling to do unspeakable things. But when she starts having blackouts and when she looks in the mirror, then the killings start.
Oh no, that sounds terrible.
You have to read the rest of the book to find out what happens. It's kind of like spooky and scary, but
it sounds terrifying, honestly. I am definitely not going to read that.
Although I was actually strangely intrigued by it. It depends on how horrific it is, but
I'm not great with scary stuff, even though I am the horror buyer.
Horror in The Hague.
Yeah, I don't like scary stuff. But I'm great at like estimating how scary other people want their stuff to be. I'm a good horror buyer, if I do say so myself.
Yeah,
I just don't like to read it.
You point at it from a distance and go, that one over there. No, no, no. Oh, to the left. That one. It's too scary.
Yeah.
It's kind of weird because I like psychologically
Okay.
things. I just watched Fight Club again, and I saw that one, you know, it was 20 years old now, actually. So in my younger days, and I thought, oh, this is really good. And I saw it again, and it's like, actually, it's really kind of creepy and connecting to this story as well, where it's a person, you know, there's another person coming out inside, and la da da. So, and the way it unraveled and the way it's written makes written the way it's
that was very
yes, made it very suddenly a man who lost his voice, visible, nobody could hear him. I don't know. Then he started playing.
That's not what invisible means. I don't know what to tell you.
I'm just writing a scenario as we speak.
It's a different. Oh God.
Coming up with an idea. Anyway, so it's these psychological things, and so that was his tip of the for a new book, which sounded I kind of liked it.
All right, good for you.
Have you got any more? Have you got a nice one?
No, I want to talk about Tom's pop culture cookbooks subsection. So Tom is the buyer for the cookbooks section in the Hague, and one of the recent additions to his section is a pop culture cookbooks subsection. So it's basically like fandom cookbooks. Some of them are based on games. Some of them are based on films and series. There's one for Marvel. There's one for Avatar: The Last Airbender. There's a big D&D cookbook. All kinds of different things. There's, I think, a Star Trek one.
Yeah. There's a Friends one? Perk Cafe?
Probably, yeah.
Oh, there is.
And it's really fun to see all of those things together. And I was just thinking, like, because I feel like this is the time of year to like sort of experiment in the kitchen. If it's, you know, obviously it's very warm now, which is scary, but like when it's sort of the darker time of the year and you maybe don't go outside as much, it's nice to try out something like that.
Star Trek meal. Yes.
Why the fuck not? You know what I mean? Let's go.
Have you got Dumbledore? Is that his name? I don't know.
No, but sure.
Okay, Dumbly Dingly Dong on TV.
That's definitely his name.
Yeah, that's what I thought. Harry Potter, one of those. And then if you've got the Harry Potter cookbook, of which there are various ones actually.
That's true.
You can sit there eating, you know, whatever wacky ghost thing, you know.
I gave my my brother the D&D cookbook for Sinterklaas last year, and now next time I go home, I better get some D&D snacks. Because like every time I'm like, well, have you tried something yet? And he was like, yeah, it was delicious. And then I never get to try anything. So he better make something for me.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, warn him, tell him. Otherwise he's gonna
I'm coming, get cooking.
Exactly. Yeah. That's another good title. I'm coming, get cooking.
That's a terrible title. But thank you for complimenting me.
Welcome.
Yeah.
You're terrible.
Anyway, it's really cool. It's a really fun little subsection. We have many of those books in our LEIDSCHENDAM store as well. Because it's very, like, they're very eye-catching because people recognize sort of the fandom look, and then they realize that it's a cookbook. There's a Lovecraft one as well, with cocktails, which is cool. Yeah.
Well, I would say that's the thing about them. It's not they're not just jokey. They actually have good. Good.
It's actual food, actual recipes that you can make. It's not just for shits and giggles.
And some of them have like the Perk Cafe from. It's like it's part of the series, so it's like, oh yeah, that's good. That's, you know, what they Um, and I've seen some other books that are like that as well. I think there's a Doctor Who book as well, but I'm not sure.
Probably, yeah. I mean, there's a lot of films and series in particular where food is quite important, like where the characters talk about food a lot, or like they use it as a means to sort of get together. And it's nice to sort of be able to recreate that for yourself. If you're like into cooking or baking and you're into that fandom, it's a lovely way to combine it.
Yeah, I'm just thinking if they could do it with some films like, Taxi or something like that, that would be intriguing. Or or Fight Club, food from
Sure. Maybe it already exists. We don't know.
Salem's Lot, like
yeah. Why not?
Why not? Why not indeed? Yeah. So you guys have Tom's made a section of it over there.
Yes.
We haven't got a section on our own in Amsterdam, but we do have some of those books in either, in the TV section, And what do we have? We had some of them end up in the cookbook section as well.
Yeah.
Obviously.
Yeah.
So you always ask if you can't find it. And actually, keeping on the old food and drink thing, food and blah blah blah. But drinks, I was talking to Fitagu today.
Oh yeah,
Fitagu today, and is our coffee man in Amsterdam, and he's been there for, God knows, 3 or 4 years now. Actually,
I think it's longer because there's 2 pandemic years in there. They don't count,
including those 2 years, and he's great fun actually. He's always joyous to see people and stuff like that, and he comes from Ethiopia. Exactly, and so the coffee is Ethiopian, and he was telling me that his mother actually was brought up on a coffee plantation.
Oh wow.
And you can find that back on Harar.nl. That's HARAR.nl. And then she actually was interviewed by the Parole a couple of years ago, and she told her story. So you can find that about that. And he looks after the Amsterdam ABC coffee shop, and that's where the coffee originates from. And it's great fun to see all the people sitting there. We wanted a coffee shop for years, and in the 80s, early 90s, we had an English tea shop down in the basement. We were on the Kalverstraat, and then that stopped. And when we moved to our current location on the Spui, we weren't allowed to have one, whereas Scheltmer at the time did have one, and it was like, oh boo, that's not fair. But finally they gave in, and so we've got our coffee shop back again, and it's very you can sit upstairs and have a coffee upstairs, or you can actually sit outside. And of course, as you say, the weather at the moment is so nice, so coming in, getting a coffee and sitting outside.
And you have a really nice, if you sit there upstairs, you have a really nice view over the square. It's really lovely. And
with the tree, you're right next to the ABC Franken tree, with the bolt in it, which is kind of nice. So that's our little coffee corner. So we touched on everything. I think
so, because we're super good at our jobs.
We are, and we're taking loads of time. We don't care.
No.
So I think that is it. Yeah. I'll just.
Oh, Christ.
I was going to sing a song, but no, maybe not.
Maybe not. Maybe next time.
I'll put my Halloween hat on just as last moment to say happy Halloween. We should get it now that way. Yeah. ABC.
This is going well.
Yeah, it's not, is it? There you go.
Beautiful.
Lovely. Next month. When are we back again? We're back again actually
25th.
25th. Let's start the day after Thanksgiving.
25th. Yes.
So don't
Second Thanksgiving Day.
Yes, indeed. Come along and join us here.
We'll be real tired.
$4. Oh yeah, you'll be sleeping like a little.
Yeah, because it's also post DCC. It's a bit of a rush because we have DCC that weekend, and then there's a few days of, I don't want to say calm, but no events, and then there's Thanksgiving, and then there's this.
Yes, this of course is the most important.
That the biggest deal out of those things, definitely.
I do think so, and actually the last one of the year, because for Christmas we will be.
That's true.
Not doing it. And
that is true.
January. So If you want any Christmas tips, then you join us next month and we give you more tips. Italian.
Yes, we'll talk about, we should talk about like gift ideas in the next edition.
We should.
Maybe some like,
Wow.
I don't know, give people some really good, there's a dog.
I can't believe it. I missed it out.
Oh, you missed
Think
it.
like this. So there you go. Dog lover. Last one of the day. Quick tip. It's a game. And it's how you look after your dog. I kind of like the idea. It's just out. And you kind of, you have the cards and what it says, during the game, you'll be able to fetch cards, collect bones, gather food for your lovable dogs. And you can rescue them from the shelter, train them for new tricks, and cherish their unique traits.
That sounds wonderful.
Yeah, you're not
Sounds
fighting
great.
each other. You're just trying to make the dog, the best dog person that you can be. And the winner is the person who's done the most for the dog. So it's kind of fun. That's just new, as opposed to all of the cat ones that we've got, like Taco Cat and things like that. So, dog lover, for all you dog lovers out there.
Yay.
So with that, I think we say goodbye. You want to say goodbye?
Yes, but maybe just not with an accent.
No!
No! Oh, God.
All right, then. Well, we'll say goodbye. Have a nice weekend and have a nice month. And we'll see you next month.